Most of us never think about the role agriculture plays in our lives, not only when it comes to the food on our tables, but what about the clothes on our backs? If wool is in your wardrobe, then you already know what you like about the feel and texture of this natural fiber. Well, that appreciation is well understood by one farm family here in Kentucky. The gentle turning of a wheel, the whirling of a bobbin, and the pressing on a treadle evoke the image of an earlier time in America. But this is 21st century Kentucky, where Joann Adams has taken her love of working with wool and turned it into a homespun occupation.
When I was a child, I adored my grandmother, and she always said she had to teach me to knit because I was getting between her and her knitting. So she taught me to knit at a very young age. I was probably 7. She had me knitting sweaters by the time I was 9.
Joann's skills in working with wool can turn out a variety of garments in a rainbow mix of colors. And it's all fashioned from fabric raised very close to home. You actually pick out wool from different ewes for different qualities. They all have a different texture and a different quality, isn't that right?
I do. We have mainly Romney-Corriedale crosses, and I like their fleece because it's long and lustrous. And this particular ewe right here, I have used her fleece for a sweater for everyone in the family. She has a beautiful fleece. It spins wonderfully. It's soft. It's light and warm, and we love our sweaters from Luna.
That kind of fabric detail provides Joann with the raw materials to create one-of-a-kind sweaters.
You raised her on a bottle, didn't you?
This is one of my bottle babies. So,
yeah.
Joann, her husband Sam, and their son Samuel are fourth-generation farmers on this Kentucky farm. Sam's ancestors first farmed the land in the late 1800s.
My great-grandfather purchased approximately about 700 acres within this Dutch colony along the road. And the sheep operation, we've done it the old-fashioned way by experience. There wasn't a lot of expertise in the area on things, and we just learned things the hard way, but that's a good teacher too.
Each of their sheep will produce between 10 and 18 pounds of wool each year. That gives Joann plenty to work with.
I like a beautiful color. I like luster to the wool, that kind of a little bit sparkly so that it kind of shines. And I like it to be very spinnable. And there's different types of spinnability. Some of the wool is longer and spins a beautiful singles yarn. Some of the wool is shorter and maybe a little finer and will be softer, closer to the skin.
After the sheep are shorn, Joann cleans the fleece. The material is then washed and air dried. Next, she dyes the wool in various colors using her turkey roaster to complete the job. Then she uses a special machine to card the wool.
And carding means you're aligning the fibers, brushing them into the form where it will spin the best. You want to keep going the same direction.
Finally, it's time to spin, a job that can be much harder than it looks.
Hold here and pull back here.
Pull here. All right.
There you go. You're going to have a nice, big, chunky part.
Now.
Okay, let it go in.
Let it go in. Okay.
It might
so
get
it'll
stuck.
take.
Let it go.
This is not as easy as you'd think it would be. The family's wool work outgrew the Adams family home. So Joann and Sam set up shop in an old Dutch meeting house that they refurbished. It dates back to 1824.
Well, the meeting house has been a labor of love. We found out about these timbers that had been torn down from the original meeting house and used in a barn just down the road. And as soon as my husband found out about that, he had to rebuild it. He just has a very strong tie to the culture and history of this area.
We started in 2003 and we finally finished in 2005. We tried to put it back as close as we could get to the original. We didn't use the daub and wattle, what they call daub and wattle, which is a mud and straw mixture to put between the timbers, but we've left the timbers exposed inside so you can see how they constructed their buildings at that time, and that's unique.
The family's efforts have breathed new life into the historic building.
I give lessons in spinning and knitting. I have a wonderful group of ladies who meet here every Tuesday night and knit or spin. And then on the second Sunday of every month, we have a group that comes and spins and knits, and a lot of very talented ladies. Hello. Oh no, not the bucket. Let's get the hand. Yeah, there you go.
For Joann Adams, the entire adventure has been a dream come true.
It is a dream come true. And I just think when I come over here, how can I be so lucky to have all of these things? Because, you know, from the time I was a little girl, I knew I wanted 3 things. I wanted a family, I wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to raise sheep and spin and knit their wool. And, you know, I've just been so fortunate that that's what I've been able to do.